Yes.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome in today for the 53rd episode of the Podwans podcast. I am your host, Char J, joined by my co-hosts, Luke.
Hello.
Hereth Productions.
Welcome back, everyone.
And for today, we have Alanis, which I did have an intro for her, so let's bring her out for half a second, and then we'll bring her back.
No.
Perfect.
No,
Yes.
this is not how this works. This is
my
Okay,
God. Are you
but,
serious right now?
Yes, for
oh my God.
for 15 seconds.
All right.
Okay.
Oh.
So today we're
so
gonna be.
dumb.
They know that Alanis is here. Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about the Clovis Arc, which is season 6, episodes
5 through 7.
5, 6, and 7.
Good job.
the
Had
Clone
that up on
Wars.
screen.
Hey, okay. We're gonna be talking about Clovis, of course. We're gonna be talking about Padme. We're gonna be talking about the Baking Clan, Anakin and his little scuffle. We're gonna be talking about Dooku being behind the scenes, of course, and Palpatine and all of that good stuff. So, all right, are we ready to start the show?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Got it.
You never would have made it as Obi-Wan's Padawan, but you might make it as mine.
And we're back. All right. So, of course, let's bring in our guests. Obviously, the first guest for today's show. She made her first appearance on the show as a guest of our first Book of Boba Fett watch along. She has been on many Clone Wars arcs, such as Episode 28, Sphere of Influence, Episode 42, the Zygeria arc, Episode 47, the Onderon arc, and she returns tonight for Episode 53, the Clovis arc. Let's bring in the ghostwriter of the Podwans podcast, Notakyber, aka Alanis.
Char, I loved that.
See, was it worth sitting out for a minute?
It was.
See,
Thoroughly impressed. And I didn't even write that.
Or as
Did it
Luke
all
would call
himself.
her,
no, that's my intro.
or as Luke would call her, Alanis.
Oh, yeah. We have video.
Conspiracy
evidence
Cantina.
of
Hey,
that.
how you doing? I don't know if this is a
Paul.
X-Core or a
It's the
DePaul.
Paul.
It's the Paul. Okay, how you doing?
What's going on?
So Alanis, where can we find you on the social medias?
So you can find me at Notakyber on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to see me be rated PG, I am a teacher in real life. So I have a teaching account called at Discovering the Galaxy, where I am teaching a Star Wars class in less than 2 months.
Awesome. I'm excited to
what
be a part
else?
of that too, because I know that you have reached out to Luke and I, and I mean,
No, Hereth.
this was before Hereth, but I'm assuming Hereth will be as well. That we will be eventually a part of that. We will be helping out a few days with your class. So I'm excited
Little
for that time to
community
come.
service for the
Yes.
Podwans podcast.
Some cahoots, some fun and games and whatnot. But I'm excited for that.
Don't
to
ever
happen.
don't ever say we are not a community helping podcast.
See,
Also,
all
what
comes
else?
together.
What else?
I'm also, gosh, there's so many things at this point. Also a host on Sith Face podcast. We have some things in the works in the next coming weeks, so stay tuned for that.
You might hear somebody on here.
Yeah,
Can't say who.
I mean there's 3 of you, so
Yeah.
it could be anyone.
I don't know.
It was
Three,
implied that,
1 in 3 chance that it could be any of
that
us.
3 people could be on the show. Or
Stay
maybe one
tuned
or
to
2.
find out who.
1 or
Anyway.
2, I don't know. All right.
Or all
Anyway.
3 of us.
Even better. Let's bring in the second guest for today's show. Our guest made her first appearance on our Disney Plus community episode, and she has been on episode 21, Senate Murders, and episode 33, Heroes on Both Sides and Pursuit of Peace for our Clone Wars rewatch. Let's reintroduce Boricuawookie, aka Camila.
Which, by the way, heroes on both sides. What? What are you laughing at?
That's such a fun little intro. I'm just like, oh, it takes me down memory lane.
Well, what about?
I've done this
you?
for a few people, so I mean, I might as well,
I- All I gotta say is the best episode by far was Heroes on Both Sides because of Camilla's speech at the end. That was the best wholesome
That's so
moment
sweet.
in Pod One's history. I don't think it'll ever be topped.
And
Oh,
that was
yeah, thank
actually I think that was our first ever Grandmaster arc.
Yes, it was.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it should be. Good. Go Padme. Oh, that was so sweet. Also, fun. My first time on Pod once was also after a Disneyland day as I was racing home so I could be on the
That's right.
episode. I was like, I just got back. Hello.
That's right. That's right. But Camila, where can the good people follow you?
You can follow me a couple places on TikTok. My username is Boricuawookie, which is on the screen. And then check out my Star Wars narrative podcast called Beings of the Galaxy. It tells the stories of the everyday people in the galaxy and how they're the heroes of their own stories. Listen to that wherever pods are cast. Check us out on Instagram, Beings of the Galaxy Pod, as well as newly on Twitter, Beings_podcast.
And she's one half of Open Circle Fleet with
Yes.
Mara.j.skywalker, or Beth, my
Yes.
sister in the Force, as I would like to call her.
100%.
But yeah, Camila, it's always a blessing to have you here. So
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited for this conversation.
there we go. And for the wild card,
And our third guest today, we'll have a fourth guest. She will be coming in soon, but our third guest for now is a rookie to the Pod Ones podcast. She has been appearing in our comment sections quite a bit, and she is a close friend of us and specifically Alanis. So let's bring in FeralRemy, aka Remy.
Hello.
fun fact, Remy, is this your first podcast?
No, I was on the Sith Face podcast.
Okay, we'll go with number 2. That's a
Number
good.
2.
We're a
Honestly,
good number 2.
Sith
Okay.
Face is a pretty good start.
It's a
It was-
it's a
being on a
superior
podcast.
podcast.
Not trying to make Alanis smile, but I mean also trying to make Alanis smile. But yeah,
Trying to get brownie points. That's my job, Char.
well, Luke, I've taken
You
over.
know.
Oh,
my God.
Here we go. Remy gets into the room and everybody just starts getting feral.
That's
This
my
is-
job.
Well, I mean,
That's what
hey,
I'm
you have to
here
look at what
for.
happened in last week's episode with the Commander Fox.
I don't want to talk about it.
Fun and
I
games.
just don't want to talk about it.
Oh, we
God.
swear.
could spend an entire hour just talking about how Remy's like, he deserves a chance. He deserves a
Listen,
chance.
listen. This is all that I'll
Read
say.
the fanfics. Fanfics aren't canon, Remy. I'm sorry, but
They are.
It was
to me. It was
real.
real
It was real
to
to
me.
me.
It's real to me.
fun story. Alanis hadn't seen that movie until
Hadn't.
last weekend. Believe it or not, she had never seen Black Widow. We watched
I
it
have
together.
seen like no movies. I just watch the most decrepit, outlandish.
Yeah, you
things.
watch Spree,
believe
which
it.
you're trying to get me to watch.
Please, okay.
I would rather
Here
eat
is-
sprees than watch spree.
No, it is shameless plug for Spree. Everyone who is a content creator needs to watch this movie.
Where's it? Is it on Netflix?
Um,
Or is
I
that on
honestly-
Amazon?
no, I think it was Netflix. I'm just watch it. I don't care where
Okay.
you watch it.
But,
It's so worth it.
Remy, where can we find you on social media?
I am at FeralRemy across the board. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Actually, on Twitter, whenever you put in my username, the L is a capital I because somebody stole it and won't give it back. So give me my username.
You're FeralRemy.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hey, it has a nice ring to it. Fair eye.
fair eye.
Fair
Oh
eye.
my God, it's already begun with X-Core.
Oh, love this slander. No, put it up there. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Sprees aren't that bad.
Guess what? It was the
aren't that
first
bad.
time Camila was on the Pod Ones podcast. We're just kind of going all the
It
way back to
was.
the beginning.
That
no.
was hilarious because I think we had been going on for what, almost 3 hours.
That was
she
funny.
popped in towards the end of it, and everybody was just like delusional. And Char, like his girlfriend was on, and she was ripping him about how he couldn't boil water, and it's still
Oh,
like
no.
a top five.
always
a top 5 moment.
It is my favorite
It's a-
part of the
it's-
Char lore.
It's
Yes,
a
it
top
is.
5 it's a top 5 moment in Pod One's podcast history.
Yeah.
Amazing. It
Can we-
will live in infamy.
Can we just do a list one day? It's like the top 5
Can we?
moments in
Can
Pod
we?
Ones
Oh, idea. We should
Top
clip that.
3 moments.
We should-
in
we should
Pod
clip-
One's history.
We should hold on. We should
3
clip
interesting
that.
moments.
history.
We should clip that segment and put it in here so that whenever we want to talk about it, we just bring that up.
Yes.
Number 3.
Wait. Wait. Your wife still laughs about the boiling
Yeah,
water
of
thing?
course he told her. Are you kidding me? You tell your significant other
hey,
anything that
Hey,
happens.
you know
Are
what?
kidding?
That actually makes me happy knowing that that story has made other people happy. So
Are you
I
sure
guess
it makes them happy, or is it just make them happy for like 5 seconds and then?
I
continue?
guess that I'm glad that it gives other people serotonin, knowing that
that's-
I can't boil water. Thank you.
You know what? Hey, that's what we're here for.
Or could, because no. Anyway,
All right.
so let's get the show rolling.
All right. Let's do this. All right. So we like to start with like an intro discussion when we do the podcast now. We used to just like go into it and be boring, but since Alanis has changed everything that we do for the best, we start off with an intro discussion. So if you were to give Anakin one piece of advice during this time, specifically during this arc, what would it be and why? I think Camila is a good one to start with here.
Trust your freaking wife. That's the headline. When she says, "Hey, just trust me. I'm not a fool to have all this happen again." Trust your wife. That's it. That's what I would tell that dumb, beautiful man.
It would be literally, it would like half the issues in this arc would not have happened. Minus Clovis dying. Fuck Clovis. Let's just get that out now. Fuck Clovis. He's the worst. He like honestly, I wanted to start off who do we hate the most, just so it could come to me and I could be like, I fucking hate Clovis. I hate Clovis. Clovis is he's the spawn of my existence. Or
So-
the bane of my existence. Sorry, I almost
Spawn of my
So-
yeah.
so,
Here we
Luke,
go.
So,
Flip back.
Luke, you're basically saying you're basically the meme of if you
Luke,
had all
you're
the Clone
high.
Wars villains in one room and you included Commander Fox, Palm
Oh,
Krell,
I'm punching.
everyone.
Oh,
shooting-
I'm no.
You're shooting Clovis twice
I'm-
in the face.
Exactly. I'm shooting him. No, you know what? I'm gonna make sure I have a third fucking bullet, and then he get a third one just for good measure. Fuck that guy.
Clovis, more like Cletus. Am I right?
Lucas
Yes,
Clovis.
Caleb.
It's his
Yes.
father. It's canon.
Anyway.
Cannon.
Anyway, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that Anakin was right in these moments, but like Clovis was fucking testing that.
So
Testing it.
now would it be Luke Clovis or Rush Agan?
I don't know.
Rush, Lucas.
Rush Agan. Rush
Agan.
Agan.
Rush
Hey,
Agan.
that's
He
not-
plays
hey,
Clovis's
hey,
father.
That's not half bad.
Hey,
that's not half bad.
Agan.
That's what I was saying.
Rush Agan.
Rush Agan.
Coolest brat in the galaxy.
No, because then people would ask me why, and it'd be like, oh god, it's because of the stupid fucking character I hate. No, that would be literally the like that would be like. It would be the most ironic thing to ever happen in my entire life. I named my kid after my mortal enemy, Rush fucking Clovis.
Why would you name? Why are you entertaining that idea?
Because Rush isn't a bad name. That sounds good. All right. Anyway.
Welcome to the Pod Ones podcast, where you can only
Anyway,
have moments like this.
Sorry.
Follow us
sorry.
on YouTube.
What a nightmare.
Alanis, you go next.
Go to therapy.
That's
Like, get a fucking
fair.
therapist. Like, that's.
Hey, that's never mind.
But yeah, I think if Anakin like went to therapy, and by therapy I mean like a licensed professional and not Yoda, I think a lot could have changed. I think a lot
Are
could
we
have
gonna
changed.
get Yoda slander? Because I'm here for it right now.
That's all that I ever do.
Well, Alanis, you better be careful because I might be reading one of the plot summaries in Yoda's voice.
Are you shitting me?
Alanis is about to leave the call.
No.
Are you
Officially
gonna
on
read it?
strike. From writing the Podmon podcast.
Again?
Yeah, she. Oh,
For the
She
third
threat-
time.
she threatened, but then when she was here, I got a good picture of her like actually typing and doing the notes, and I was like, well, we have fine. It's okay. Both sides have come to an agreement. There's
Don't
Leave
leave
us,
us
Alanis.
Char, if you're gonna do the Yoda like summary, can you please read it backwards? Like you have to read it backwards. That's the only requirement.
But
God,
that takes so
don't.
much more effort.
I know you got to do it.
Don't do.
You know
that.
what, Char? If you want to be the geriatric gnome, that's the only way I will accept it. Not the
That's
real.
not nice. That's not nice. That is not nice.
All right.
Yoda.
Anyway.
Facts right here. Alanis is just Lego building an eject button off camera.
I'm out.
Anyway, that's a good one. Get therapy. Remy.
I would say Anakin, sweet baby, my child. Please, jealousy is in fact a path to the dark side. So just remember that.
What isn't a path to the dark side?
You right.
Yeah.
Anakin needs to listen to Sour by Olivia Rodrigo, specifically Jealousy. The song.
Fantastic song. Yes.
And then
Agreed.
all his problems would be solved.
I think he needs like a good margarita.
Also,
That-
Margarita.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Like, I think if Anakin had like a good soundtrack, maybe a nice little dip in the pool, nice strawberry margarita, I do not think Mustafar
Do you think
would
he would get a strawberry margarita?
Oh yeah, that
Yes.
man only drinks fucking daiquiris.
Yes.
Frozen.
Now,
Frozen also.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
now I'm imagining
Yeah.
Anakin with AirPods and listening to Olivia Rodrigo while he's going to storm the Jedi Temple.
Oh Jesus Christ!
When she's with you.
Oh my! Oh,
Slash.
oh my
Oh, no.
God! Yep, that was the last moment we had heard from the
Well,
Podwalk
this is the end of the Podwalk
podcast.
Goodbye,
And
my
we're done.
friends.
This is great. Hell of a way to go out.
Alanis, can I have your eject button, please?
We just kicked Char from the street.
Oh.
All you hear is
Oh my God! Hey,
Chris, welcome to the party.
Hey, Pat, Pat. I know you're not talking, separatist boy. Separatists were played just as much as the Republic was. So,
Hereth, why are you dying?
Hereth, are you gonna live? Are you
I
gonna
will
live
live.
throughout this?
I will live.
Dude, he's
Okay.
crying. He's crying. Uh,
I don't even know what we're laughing about anymore.
Mood.
Because
I-
I don't know.
that's
Something about
fair.
my sudden exit
Me.
gave him. Okay.
Char.
It was the.
Screaming.
That's what killed
All
me.
right, Char. What would your advice be for Anakin?
2 words. Calm down.
That never
Spoken like
works.
a true man.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna
Spoken
say.
like a true
Yeah.
man.
So you don't say that to your girlfriend, right?
No.
Okay,
No, I
yeah,
don't.
good. At least you're not. Yeah, good. We're getting somewhere.
I would say
First the boiling
take a
water,
breather.
then her. You're not saying that to her. That we're on a good track here. We're on a good track. Yes.
Oh.
Chris, yes.
Luke, this is like the 5th time already where I've tried to click on a comment and you do it at the same time, so it just doesn't show up. It just cancels.
Sorry.
Is that just a dyad moment failing? Like, how does this work?
All right, but Chris
Honestly.
is on the same train than I am. Hereth, what would you say to Anakin?
Well, Char took my answer. I'll expand on it. He needs a melatonin. He just needs to go chill. In the Jedi
He needs to
Temple,
go sleep.
go to sleep and let Padme do everything.
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Joint.
I need to take a
What?
nap.
God damn it! I
You
was
can have
gonna
the
say
margarita.
that.
You can have the margarita on top of that as well
Damn
if
it.
you really want.
I was gonna say, hey, why don't you just go to Harloff Minor, and just get baked, baby? Because like literally, you have enough stress in your life. You don't need just trust your wife. She's got it.
Why would he go to Christian's World? I don't know.
Because it's like a vacation. That's literally it's a vacation world.
Huh.
You didn't know that?
He
Fake
just needs
fan.
8 hours of sleep. He needs
Okay.
a bed. He needs a bed frame. That's what Anakin needs.
Kill fuck.
I don't want to stop. No fuck slander.
Yes, it has
mean-
started.
I mean, he ends up killing him. I mean, well, sort of both.
Spoilers
Oh wow.
for Vader 2017.
Screw it. If you haven't read it, that's your fault. Anyway, I'm kidding. It's literally because Remy's here. This is my excuse.
can't- No,
Remy,
don't
you
use
have done
me.
this yourself.
Damn
with
it.
what happened last
Remy, you
week.
have done this yourself.
Damn it.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean that's pretty solid advice from all of us. We'll ask the same thing of our fourth guest when she gets here, hopefully. But let's get into the arc. That was a really long intro, but I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, that was fun. That was 20 minutes.
Hey,
Wow.
who cares?
This
This
is
is
the
gonna be
longest intro we've ever had.
This is gonna be a fun
And we're
one.
still waiting for guests.
Hey,
we-
it doesn't matter.
Can we highlight Chris's comment?
Okay, yes. What is it?
The go hang out one.
Also,
You know it's coming for you, Chris. You know. And it's not me. It's my second half, and she's arguably worse.
Yes, my two mothers.
Oh, we were talking about that the other day. Duh, don't get me started because we could go down a rabbit hole on that one. Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
Char, go ahead. Plot summary.
All right, season 6, episode 5, An Old Friend. And guess what, guys?
Are you drinking a Modelo?
Nice.
Nice. No, Remy.
Oh wait. Oh, Remy. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, see that?
Does it have tahini? Yes. Okay. Anyway, season
This
6,
podcast
episode,
is just like.
season 6, episode 5, An Old Friend. As the war between the Republic and the Separatists intensifies, many are driven from their home planet, and it is up to Senator Amidala to secure aid for them. All eyes turn to the banking clan and the planet Scipio in an effort to remain independent from the Republic and the Separatists. All operations are divided, and money transactions are performed in a neutral zone surrounding the main vault. For operations to continue, there must be no war on Scipio. However, worry about the stability of the banking clan is growing within the Republic, as the wellspring of money may be in jeopardy.
It's the
was the
however.
however.
Remember?
Yeah.
Why? So why?
Oh.
I love how there's like that one word during my plot
great.
summaries that you
It's
just point out.
Oh, it's
Like
great.
the one time where I said 2000.
No,
that was funny.
my favorite one was I forget what I think it's what the order was already like, and he died.
Yeah, and he
Oh
died.
yeah, oh yeah.
Like,
Pup
just
died.
Yeah.
But Hereth, what was that?
I don't know. It's average 3.5.
Guess what would we say for Godfrey?
I closed my eyes and it was like it was Godfrey.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'd give it-
Godfrey,
I'd give it a
You heard it
5.
here, folks.
Oh, a 5 out of what?
4.2.
Oh, wow,
Okay,
harsh
Okay.
critic right there.
Remy.
A 5.
Screw you, Hereth. Okay,
Well,
solid 4 out of 10. We got
I thought
a
it was
4.
fantastic.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a Jedi Master.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? That's fine. That's
A
fine.
Jedi Master.
That's fine.
It was the jump scare for me.
I was not ready for it. I thought he was gonna
Agreed.
do Yoda, and I thought Alanis was gonna.
Well,
like,
because
fall.
here's the thing. Because I was like, and you know what that means, and like I was stopped, so I don't think anyone knew that I was going to do Gottfried. So I'm gonna have to go look back at the clip with you just going like,
Well, Chris goes.
like what?
Chris goes. Someone clip Char's face.
That's what I was
Remove
laughing
the
at.
audio.
So it's just me yelling in my microphone. Oh my
Oh.
god, that would be so weird. Okay. Anyway, so we dive into the first episode of this arc. Luke, do you want to take the reins, or do you want me to take the reins?
I'll take the reins on this one.
All right, go ahead.
Start us off. So episode 1 of the arc is called An Old Friend. The moral of the episode is to love is to trust is to believe. Hint, hint, Anakin, listen the fuck up. Anyway.
Or Anakin, relationship
Yep.
advice.
Yeah, this episode's just going to be us bashing Clovis and Anakin. I just have a feeling. Here we go. Let's get
Yeah,
this
because Padme
started.
did nothing wrong.
I agree. She's just...
I would like to say this is, in fact, Padme's gaslight, gatekeep, girl, boss episode.
Yeah.
Well, the whole
Yes.
arc is.
No, yeah, it literally is. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. So we start off with Padme going to Scipio. She's been ordered by the Chancellor. I wonder why he did that. To Scipio, to look at the financial stuff between the Republic and the banking clan. I believe she's looking specifically at interest rates, if I'm not mistaken. So the question is, with Palpatine specifically, why do you think he encourages Padme to partner with Clovis?
I truly
go.
think he loves the drama.
You think? Why?
Yeah, I think my thing with Palpatine is that I really don't think that like half of the stuff we see him get truly involved in, he starts. I think he sees chaos and is like, oh, I'm gonna make this work for me. So, Padme's like, hey, this thing with Clovis, and in Palpatine's brain, he's like, damn, girl, this is gonna be fun. Why'd you go off? Have a good time. And then he's like, oh, I could actually like make this work to my advantage. So I just think he likes the drama and then sees how he can twist it.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, he is one for drama. I still think he's a very big misogynist myself because, he hates women. But I digress. Camila, what are your thoughts?
I think it's that he knows that like he can like he's like I think Palpatine is always like trying to figure out ways to manipulate Padme as much as he can because she's like such a big threat to him. And so I feel like he knows that he can, because he knows that she's somebody who like always tries to see the good in people. It's like, yes, he can push the like I don't know if he did it because he I think that like yes, there's a part like partly Anakin in there, but like he definitely gets into that later on in the next episode when he like sees Anakin's reaction to the Clovis of it all. But I think in terms of this at the beginning, it's I know that I can like manipulate Padme's good heart to eventually get her to trust Clovis, and if her good word is on Clovis, then it'll be easier to put him in the place to then bring him down so that I can take control of the banks.
Yeah.
So I think it's like he wanted to manipulate her friendship with Clovis and her good heart to be able to get what he wanted.
Anything extra was just icing on the cake for him.
Precisely.
Exactly. Remy?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that Palpatine wasn't necessarily like, kind of like what Alanis said, he didn't necessarily know until later on whenever Padme was like, hey, like, I don't want to work with Clovis. And Palpatine definitely knows how Anakin feels about Clovis because we've seen it before.
Boy talks about his feelings way too much to that man.
Yes. So I think as soon as Palpatine was like, oh, Clovis, perfect, I know exactly what to do. And he just went off of there.
I also think like I put Vader at like the top of like villain stuff, but like Palpatine is really, really close to like a close second, because he's like, there's not a lot of villains that are just straight up like really good at manipulating situations and people. Like, name me another like villain that can manipulate as well as Palpatine can. You can't really say that anybody is as good. He literally made a plan 20 years in advance with his master to take over the entire fucking world. Okay. Like, it's just insanity how much of a manipulator, like a master manipulator he is. And this is why I say this every single time we talk about Palpatine. That's why I want Plagueis canonized, because that book does so well with him, Plagueis setting him up to be successful. I'm telling you, without Plagueis, Palpatine wouldn't be where he is now. Just saying. Anyway, Hereth.
Well,
The villains are being listed off. Hannibal Lecter, Eisen from Bleach.
I was gonna say, Remy
Luke is
literally
like, can you name another one? There's no one. Lists off names.
anyway.
Luke, you got madly ratioed there. That was great.
I agree with you, Luke. Though I agree with you because yeah, these other people are very manipulative, but like Palpatine literally took down an entire governmental structure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was in control of it too. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of it. It wasn't an outside influence. It was him being in control of everything.
Yeah.
Thanos did make half of the population disappear. Though,
Yeah,
so I
fuck
mean-
Thanos. Thanos.
He just
really.
snapped his finger.
Thanos.
Yeah,
he
honestly,
needed,
like,
he needed stupid stones to take over the entire.
like you really think a
galaxy,
good villain
right?
can just snap his fingers and just like solve his problems? What are you talking
Come
about?
on.
Oh, it's not like we haven't seen that before. Looks over at Sidious. Oh wait, never mind. Okay.
As I was gonna say, literally Remy took my answer of this might be a weird headcanon, but like if you just know who Palpatine is, he knows about everything with Anakin and Padme, so he's just like, oh, I'm gonna press this button. Let's see if I can create like a breakup between these two, and I can push them to the dark side now. Because
I'm
like
just
Palpatine's
imagining-
trying this entire series to get Anakin to fall.
Now I'm just
Oh, yeah.
imagining if Palpatine did snap. Would it be like Thor Ragnarok with like, oh, the sparkles? Ah, there's sparkles right there.
That would be.
All I hear is,
funny.
oh,
Anyway.
hi.
Char, your thoughts?
I just think that because eventually in this arc, he does get in touch with Clovis through Dooku, and because he knows that Clovis had previous ties with the Separatists, and that he's closer with the Separatists. So they know that they could easily manipulate him and be like, we want this, you're gonna do it, and if it doesn't happen, well, you'll know what'll happen. So he was vulnerable, and Padme is one of the most credited senators amongst the Senate, and for her to trust him, it's a recipe for disaster. And it was brilliant on Palpatine's part to get in touch with him and have it all orchestrated to where Clovis eventually is in control of the bank, and he's doing the opposite of what the people of the Senate voted for. So it was brilliant.
Master
I love what you
manipulator.
said, Char, about like Padme being one of the like most credited senators, because if you think about like if he's trying to take down Padme in a way, Padme's like, she says this to Anakin later, I'm not a fool to trust him twice, like shame on, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. And I think he's like, if it's I think also you could say there's a layer of like him trying to break Padme's spirit in a way of like, oh, this dude failed you twice, now you're second guessing everything that you're doing, so then maybe like you'll be less of a pain in my behind in the Senate itself.
I mean, besides Bail and Mon Mothma, I mean, Padme is literally the one factor that he is very much afraid of. He's very much afraid of Padme because she has a lot of pull. She is very good with speaking. I mean, look at the arc. Camilla's speech that Padme says, because we're just gonna call it Camilla's speech. So like, I mean, look at that. That's another one that is very, very important. And
The intro. Bring her out.
Get her out of here. Get out of here.
Let Char do his thing.
All right. And our fourth guest of today's show, our guest made it her first appearance on our episode 4 watch along for the Book of Boba Fett. She has appeared on episode 43, Friend in Need, and will come back for this episode to talk about Clovis. Let's bring in Nedra at Nedra Loves Cosplay. She's back.
You're muted.
I'm not.
Every day, there you are. Now you're not. Nedra,
Hi.
how's
Hey,
it going?
Hello.
It's
Where
good. I'm good. I'm good.
Where can the good people follow you, Nedra?
Nedra loves cosplay everywhere except Twitter. That's Nedra loves Jedi.
Awesome. Real quick, I'm gonna ask you the intro question because I want your thoughts on it. If you were to give Anakin one piece of advice during this time, what would you say and why?
Don't. Just don't. Just. I'm used to it at this point with this particular group. It happens. But no, I would say just don't. I would
Peace
say
out, X Corp.
Anakin, maybe sit this and all of them out. Maybe focus on your studies.
Maybe go look at the actual war. Try to go win another battle. Come on.
Maybe go touch grass. I don't know.
That doesn't work for any of us.
I think he would prefer
Maybe
grass.
Stop touching
and-
grass. Part of the
'cause, I mean,
problem
he's
is
avoided
rolling
sand,
around in the grass
so.
with Padme.
That's very true. And then I'll also ask you the first question because we're on the first question of the first episode, so you're not really all that late. Why do you think Palpatine encourages Padme to partner with Clovis?
Because he's a messy bitch who lives for drama.
Yep, there we go. It's a consensus.
That's exactly what Alanis said.
Yep.
Exactly what Alanis said, is that he loves the drama.
It's the right answer.
No, that's literally the right answer. Yeah, Anakin, there's a war. Take care of it. That's true, Ven. Okay, so we've talked about Palpatine and obviously him being master manipulator as always. So Padme gets into a little bit of trouble. She ends up, her and Clovis come up with this idea where she gets files from the Mune banking clan, exposing them to like actually being fraud, because come to find out the separatists aren't paying interest on their loans. Well, she gets caught. And who does Palpatine send to save her? General Skywalker. Great job. So
Drama.
he shows up. He's not very happy. He's like, I'm bailing your ass out. Strike number one, my friend. Strike number one. A lot of the actions of Anakin, like Anakin Skywalker is my favorite character. Like this particular arc is hard because like you understand his character, but you also can't condone his actions because you're like, that's not how to handle that, buddy. Like that's not. But
Yeah, Palpatine did send Embo.
well, yes, yeah.
I'm sorry,
and-
Sidious sent Embo. I'm sorry, Luke.
No, that's not. No, that's not what I was saying. That's not the kind of.
They're two separate characters.
No, oh my god! Don't get me fucking started on that. Thank God we have him on the right and true path here. Oh God, this is derailed. I knew this was gonna happen, but anyway.
Continue, Luke. Continue.
Anakin and Padme have a lot of different views, especially like ideals. Anakin is about law and order, and obviously Padme is more of like the let's negotiate, let's find a way for both sides to win. How are Anakin and Padme's differing views on the needs of the many versus the needs of the few portrayed in this episode?
I'm tardy. I guess I'll start. I think that their pairing has always been really fascinating to me because Padme tends to be very much an empath, and she thinks about, well, what's best for everyone? Like what could have like the minimal fallout? Like she kind of wants to please everyone in a way that's different than the way that Anakin wants to please everyone. Anakin wants to please everyone in the sense that like he has this sort of like servitude mindset, but like aspirational in a sense that like he doesn't feel like he is quite good enough, and he has to like prove himself useful to everyone in his life. Whereas she has sort of the same thing in the sense that she wants to be able to save everyone. I haven't read any of her books, but I would
Ooh.
wager there's something in her backstory that probably has made her the way she is. Because she's very much a people pleaser and she wants to be able to save everyone, even at the expense of herself. Where when Anakin tells her he's been having visions like he had of his mother, she's like, okay. Like she's not bothered by that because she's like, well, whatever. If it's my time, it's my time, whatever. But like she wants to be able to sort of appease and take care of and protect everyone and do what's best for the greater good. And I think she's a lot more capable of thinking critically about all that, where Anakin is just fueled by pure attachment, pure adrenaline, pure like, no, I love you. I have to show you my value. Like Anakin's selfish in a different way that Padme's
Selfless.
drives are selfish. I'd say there's a little bit of selfishness in people pleasing inherently. There's always a bit of, I need this for me to make up to atone for something I didn't do or I did do or I wish I had the power to do. I think they are two sides of the same coin. So I kind of love them as a couple and I kind of hate it too.
Remy.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that Anakin is very selfish, and it definitely shines in this arc for sure. Multiple times. Anakin is very much the type of person who, whenever he is very close with somebody and loves them very deeply, he will do anything for those people around him, and he doesn't care who it affects in the process of protecting his loved ones. And I think that this whole arc is really a huge thing for his character and him becoming Darth Vader because of that specific reasoning. Is you see the links that he would take in order just to protect Padme at like the very start of this is like kind of, we're more towards the point where Palpatine is really getting a hold of Anakin to bring him over to the dark side. So I think that this is so important in seeing the fact, like the differences between Padme and Anakin and kind of like, whoa, this is different because we don't really see that side of things. And even later on, I think I don't remember if it's the second or third episode or even the first, but Anakin and Padme are talking and she says, we've had this conversation before, like we've talked about this. So for us to see that and hear that, we're like, oh shit, like this is how their relationship actually is, and we're actually seeing it be this toxic, not good relationship. Whereas in Attack of the Clones, we're like, oh, Anakin and Padme, and like Revenge of the Sith, we're like, oh no. So I think it's really important that we did get to see that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Camila?
Yeah, I think what I like about that you get to see in this arc in terms of their relationship is that it's like at the beginning of their relationship, they were both like, we are committed to our things. We're committed to the Republic in our own ways. Me as a senator, you as a Jedi. But we'll find a way to make this work as a marriage. And we can try and compartmentalize the two. Like, we're married over here, but we also have our duties to the Republic. And as their marriage has gone on, now we're like in year 3 of them being married. And Padme is really good at compartmentalizing and being like, no, I have to focus on the Republic, and I'm focusing on the Republic, and this is our drive here. And she's really good at like not letting her emotions cloud her judgment in the way that Anakin obviously isn't, which is why I will say again and again, Padme would have made a great Jedi. And we see in this arc, Anakin not being able to be like, I have my duty. Like, you see Anakin starting to go from, I don't care about my duty to the Order. I don't care about my duty to the Republic. I care more about you. And Padme's not on that page at all yet, and never will be. And so it's like, yeah, it's like you're seeing that their priorities are kind of shifting and they're not on the same page anymore, and they don't communicate. And that's on both ends. Like, neither of them communicate well with each other. Like, this arc is clearly very much Anakin's inability to Anakin's jealousy and his inability to communicate that with Padme. But also, I mean, Padme on the other hand is unable to communicate how Anakin is making her feel when he's saying all of these things. And so they needed to talk. The enemy of Star Wars is not Palpatine. The enemy of Star Wars is communication. Yeah. And we see it time and time and time again. And they needed to I'm just every time I'm just talk to each other. Talk to each other and tell me how you feel, both of you.
And communication happens in the Senate, and there's no Senate, we lose.
Yeah. I think there's even a line too where Anakin says something like, how come whenever Clovis is around, it's always for the Republic? He can't comprehend why she does things for other people.
It's just hey, dummy. Stop being so dumb. Just pay attention, would you? Read between the lines. Come on. Be Obi-Wan. Be Obi-Wan. That's all you have to do. Obi-Wan?
No. Are we doing that?
Oh,
On that?
I just love how the audio is just a bunch of
yeah, and it just got muffled. Holy shit.
Yeah, the audio died for about 3
kidding.
seconds.
Obi-Wan's not obviously any better with the whole
Be Cantum Psy. That's what everyone should be.
All I have to say is rest in peace.
Or
Spotify
Terra Sanube.
users.
Come on, man. There's nothing Terra Sanube did in the Clone Wars that was wrong. Come on. The old man, he was cool as hell.
His name is Bada
Listen.
a petty thief.
I love Terra Sanube. If I had to have another Glup Shido besides Dexter Jetster, it would be Terra Sanube.
You can if you want to. You're the one
Yeah,
who's holding
but-
back from having multiple.
Yeah, but you can't Dexter Jetster is the Glup Shido.
You
Come
feel
on.
like you're cheating on him?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm full committed to Dexter Jetster. I mean, if I were if I was a Coruscant, are they called Corsanti? Okay, that's what I was trying to say. Hey, you know what? Whatever. We're gonna roll with it. Coruscant.
Honey, there's
I
so
would
much to you.
I would
Nebraska
literally.
by the looks of it.
I would literally.
Egan.
Luke Aiken, what do you know?
Nedra's regretting coming on.
Nedra's-
Nedra's I should have been 2 hours late.
I can't wait. I don't know. I'm so everything just keeps cutting out.
Oh no.
Rest in peace, Nedra.
Yeah, R.I.P. Nedra's headset.
We killed Nedra's headset with the
Are you I don't know where I was going with that, but
Anakin is a needy, dumb person who wants to get Padme to the ship.
yes, pretty much. But Alanis, your thoughts?
I think everyone kind of said everything. I think the main difference in this arc is that Padme cares about the galaxy because Padme genuinely cares about everyone in the galaxy, whereas Anakin cares about the galaxy because he thinks it's going to get him to Padme. And that is the difference between the two. So while Anakin does, have empathy and he does care about the galaxy, his ultimate goal is not, for everything to work out.
What's up,
like Padme's is. It's for him to, have Padme. So I think that's a big difference between them.
Speaking of which, Brooke,
Bring up the banner.
Bring up the
Nedra's
banner.
got the Crimson Axe outpost, which, by the way, she will be. V is sponsoring our rewatch, and she will be
Look
on.
at Nedra down there.
No, yeah,
Look at her go.
she's sponsoring it. She's doing a good job. I might actually be wearing one of those crop tops, believe it or not. No, I'm. Hey,
Camila!
Camilla's don't.
What you
Don't
mean by
do
that?
Padawan's podcast, Car Wash in
Hey!
the crop tops.
Hey, I'm all for it.
www.lukefans.com.
We're gonna do it in London. That's gonna be our Patreon. Thank you for subscribing to our
thank-
Patreon.
yeah.
Lowly
but yeah,
fans.
go to Crimson Axe Outpost. She's got some amazing stuff. She's doing Stranger Things
Patches and stickers.
right? Stickers and stuff like that right now. So go support her stuff, but also go support Far Far Away Factory. Yay! Far Far Away Factory, which is B Dazzler or our good friend Brooke's Etsy shop. Actually, not an Etsy shop. It's just a shop because we don't care about Etsy. I mean, we do, but we really
Oh my
don't.
gosh.
So she does everything from stickers to earrings to custom shoes to stickers to hoodies, everything from Star Wars to DC to Marvel. Go to her website, farfarawayfactory.com. If you feel that you need to go to Etsy, go ahead, go to Etsy. But we'd rather you go to the website itself so that she can make some more money so that she can go to Celebration with us. I mean, she's already going to Celebration with us, but the more money she has.
Wait. It's Brooke's birthday on Monday, so we better
Oh
buy
yeah,
out
it is
her
Brooks,
shop.
and it's Brooks. Can we just happy birthday, Brooke? Happy birthday, Brooke.
Love you,
Birthday, Brooke.
bestie.
Happy birthday. And go buy cool shit from her. That's my
Please buy at her
tagline.
shop. We need that. That would be the best birthday gift.
Yes, because of Obi-Wan. You're absolutely fucking right.
I guess everything nowadays is because of Obi-Wan.
Anyway.
Nowadays, all right.
Previously, you mean with Andor?
Damn.
Do tell.
Damn it. Well, 15 minutes in, and Nedra has. I thought it was going to be Remy who absolutely destroys the.
I'm trying to
derails.
behave.
Okay, let's everyone make fun of Fox for the next 15 seconds. Oh my god, Fox is
No.
weird.
I swear to
DC
God, no.
1010, what a weirdo.
No one told you to behave. Cut it out.
Yeah.
I'm
Nobody.
trying to be on my best behavior.
Yeah, because mom and dad are here. Ugh.
I'm trying to be polite for Podwans.
Well,
Yeah.
oh god.
Listen. Anyway, go watch my
Remy
Roxy
as my
series.
child.
Oh,
Yeah. Remy, as my child, just go feral. Just
all right.
start barking.
You opened up Pandora's box.
Oh,
This
God.
is all your fault.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Let it be known, audio listeners, this is all Notakyber's fault. Let's just get that out of the way now.
I think the audio
Accurate.
listeners have left the podcast because I think we destroyed their eardrums 3 or 4 times by now.
Fox supremacy, period. Anyway.
Sad May.
Oh
No,
my
Chris.
God, Chris.
Chris, no.
Behave! We are Podwans. We don't know what that word means.
No, we should literally make that into a shirt.
That needs to be an audio clip that we could just throw out at any moment.
Oh my God. Oh. Anyway, sorry. That's it for the episode. An old friend, Char.
All right, let's dive into the next episode, which is season 6, episode 6, 66. The Rise of Clovis. So this plot summary I'm going to read in Yoda's voice. So
Oh, God.
Alanis,
Really?
don't yell at me. Okay?
Alanis is gone.
All right, ready?
She goes.
Ready? War profiteers. In times of war, credits are the fuel that fund all operations. Senator Amidala is sent to Scipio to resolve matters between the Republic and the intergalactic banking clan. Here, she is reunited with Rush Clovis, a once close friend, but now a known traitor to the Republic. When Clovis reveals corruption at the core of the banking clan, Senator Amidala helps him steal vital files that may uncover the full extent of the plot. Anakin Skywalker is sent to the rescue of the senator and escort the information back to Coruscant, leaving the banking clan in chaos.
Well, I'm glad you didn't subject me to that.
How was that?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. Char, you could tell by my face the entire time. 1 out of 5.
No, well, honestly, like
Kill you, I
think
must.
I think it's honestly, I think
Eliminate
that
Hereth Productions, I shall.
I think it's better than his Tom Kane.
It is,
honest.
but there are times I was just sitting here like, why am I here? Just to suffer.
How drunk are you, Leahy? 6 out of 10.
I'm with. Alanis left the call. Do we need any more?
Wait, Alanis left?
You were so into it.
No, because I have another page pulled up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
I was outie.
yeah, she was.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But anyway,
Well, it looks like I'm not doing Yoda anymore.
Wow.
I personally love your Yoda. It was so
Screw you,
good. I had
all
to
of
turn
you.
my
Wow,
I am.
you're gonna cut off Nedra when she was giving you praise?
Wow.
Return to
How-
communication, Nedra. Please
Oh
Return.
my god.
continue.
You've broken Nedra. I hope you're happy.
Yeah, man. You know,
Deeply apologize. I will not.
Clovis, the way Clovis is set up, I think you should have just sent Yoda, right? Like
Me, Yoda?
me Yoda.
It's just me walking in with ears, just, hello, everyone. How are you?
Oh,
Anyway.
Scary.
good Yoda content.
And I can just see Alanis over here
All
just
right.
being like, "Fuck you,"
So this is
Anti-Yoda.
how Pod Once dies.
guys, with thunderous applause and on fire. That's okay.
Thunderous
All right.
applause. How liberty dies.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
leave me alone, okay?
All right.
All right,
anyway.
fine. We'll go back to Godfrey for the last one. How about that?
Oh,
You
hell
like that?
yeah.
You like
Yes,
that?
Yeah.
I
Can we
do like
please
that.
go
I do.
back? My
I
God.
do.
Okay. Anyways, I'm taking the reins of this
all right,
episode.
cool, go
Screw
ahead.
off, Luke. Okay.
All right.
Screw off, you shall. All right. So the moral of this episode is jealousy is a path to chaos, and obviously we could put the last puzzle piece together and figure out what that means. So the start of this episode is Anakin, Clovis, and Padme return to Coruscant after escaping Scipio and Embo, becoming Shaun White for a minute. And then we find out that Clovis has information that about the banking clan, and he shows it to Palpatine to be like, the intergalactic banking clan is corrupt and they are on the brink of collapse. So let me show you all of what's happening. So he goes to a special session of Congress, or Clovis and Padme are real close. Like, they're real close. And obviously Anakin is not having it because of, past entanglements with a friend, not the friend in need. What was the episode called? Spy something? Senate Spy, I believe. Senate Spy. I believe that was the episode, but I'm referring to. But Anakin has a very bitter taste when Clovis's name is even brought up. So while Padme and Clovis are planning their Senate meeting about the banking clan, Anakin and Obi-Wan have a little talk in Anakin's chamber, and Obi-Wan's like, you and her are just friends, right? And Anakin's like, yeah, we're just friends, and not talking about Clovis, and Anakin's like, I'm only friends with her, you know this. But obviously Obi-Wan is somewhat aware of the situation. And then Obi-Wan brings up Satine, and that the love and the affection is natural, and to tell him that his decision making about what's happening between Clovis and Padme is honestly up to him. But I digress. Later in the episode it gets a little heated. So I want to ask you guys, was Obi-Wan's advice rooted more in a genuine care for Anakin, or brought on more by his Jedi teachings? Maybe both.
I am so passionate about this scene. I just want to lay that down.
No, go ahead.
So what I personally think, I think Obi-Wan, whether, it's because of genuine concern or the, I thought we were friends. I'm reading that comment. I thought we were friends. But whether he's doing it out of genuine concern or because of, the Jedi-ness, I still think Obi-Wan would have given advice, because wherever his, the reasons for his caring, it is caring. But I think the way that he worded the advice is definitely more Jedi. I think if Obi-Wan wasn't so kind of wrapped up in this idea of being, this quote unquote perfect Jedi, of, fitting this mold, I think the advice he would have given to Anakin would have been a lot different. But I think at, this point in both of their relationships, they're kind of astray at this point. They're still brothers, they still love each other, but I think a lot of, the closeness and the banter is kind of over. So I think his advice was more leaning towards the Jedi way, because I think if it was, not master to ex-Padawan, it was brother to brother, I think the advice would have been astronomically different.
Yeah, I
fair.
might say neither. Oh, sorry. This is the short answer. I might say neither, both and neither. Like, there's a little bit of feeling called out there, and it's kind of like, like when you think someone doesn't know something and then they like bring it up to you and you're kind of caught off guard. I think there was a bit of that involved in there too. Obi-Wan's not perfect. He was kind of thrust into being a master way sooner than he personally thought he was ready to be. And it definitely feels like a big brother being asked about something that he's still working through. And while like being in a household where they don't have doors, or something. So like he's kind of like speaking in code also, like without wanting to acknowledge the weirdness. Um, I definitely would have loved them to revisit this conversation. And I think that's one of Obi-Wan's biggest like weaknesses is that there wasn't a whole lot of circle back. This is typically a thing men aren't good at. They aren't good at like following up on conversations that happened in the past. So you have to like you see that a lot. We were talking about communication breakdowns and how that is the entire crux of the Clone Wars. It is really evident in the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin because they have these brilliant starts to conversations that could do a lot that they just never revisit because feelings,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'd say both and neither.
Yeah, I definitely say both for sure. Kind of going off of what Alanis said too, that it's like the way that Obi-Wan worded it, I think was a big problem. And I think that Obi-Wan would have worded it differently if Yoda hadn't sent him. Because that I feel is a big issue. Is that Obi-Wan didn't go on his own. He said Master Yoda is, concerned for you and your feelings about Clovis and Padme. And I think that is another big thing that really turned Anakin off towards the conversation is he's like, oh, okay, you're just here to give me another Jedi lesson because Yoda told you to come and talk to me. Like, I don't want to have this conversation with you now. And even though we do see the feelings of Obi-Wan, trying to talk to Anakin about Satine and everything, you get the brotherly love, but it's also in Anakin's mind, oh, this is just another teaching moment, so it doesn't matter what you're saying to me.
I love that. And I love that perspective. I never thought about it in that way. And like, I fully agree with that it is truly, because I don't think if Yoda didn't tell him, Obi-Wan's not even going to address it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is like completely, it's uncomfortable for him to do because it's all about, it's all about that whole deleted conversation with Padme where he's like, we pretend I don't. No, we just don't talk about it, but you're the only one that can make him happy when nothing else truly ever could. And so I feel like in Obi-Wan's mind, he's like, if I don't address it, then then Anakin will just like stay happy. And I don't want to take that away from him. And so like without the Yoda piece of it, Yoda asking Obi-Wan to go, then Obi-Wan probably wouldn't address it because he doesn't want to get involved, because he doesn't want to say anything that could then hinder Anakin's only true happiness, Padme. But because he was sent by Yoda, then it's like, I think it's the more that I think about it, then like I think he is like trying to go about it because he genuinely cares about Anakin. But I think maybe in his head, his mind, genuinely caring about Anakin is not addressing it because then Anakin can stay in his like fantasy world as long as possible. That's not to say that is the right thing to do, because like that like isn't the right thing to do. But I think in Obi-Wan's head, he's like, if I don't address it, then there's no like Anakin having to face it, and then he can keep having his own like fantasy happy world without like me deflating that by like being a Jedi and having to share those teachings.
Well, and also I think another thing, obviously Satine's gone, and I feel like that's another big thing for Obi-Wan when he sees this, and that's another reason why Yoda says something to him, because I feel like, just like everybody says that like Anakin and Padme are the worst kept secret in the galaxy. Like I feel like everybody in the Jedi Council knows that they're together. They just
Except
don't.
Kiadi-Mundi.
Yeah, fuck that guy. 2 brains and couldn't put the 2 together. Dumbass. Hate that guy. Another guy that I would probably shoot twice, to be honest. But I digress.
Luke, the next time we watch Revenge of the Sith, when that scene on Maigito where Kiadi gets eliminated, we should all just start
great.
clapping.
Yeah. Best part of
Yes,
Revenge.
no.
Best,
Just for Kiadi no
best
one else.
part
Though.
of best part of Revenge of the Sith. Just kidding. It's not the best part of it. Sorry. No, but like I feel like, and it gets mentioned in Brotherhood, that Obi-Wan, because he sees Anakin from afar right before they get sent off, before he goes to Cato Nemoidia. He has this moment where he's like, I know what's going on, but I feel like it's just best for me not to mention it, because like Camila says, he does ultimately want Anakin to be happy. And I also feel like he wants to give Anakin what he could never have, and I feel like that's also a big factor into it as well.
I also want to defend Yoda a little here, though.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of what's driven Yoda, because it could kind of look like Yoda's putting off the hard work onto other people. Damn, I'm not roasting Yoda, I promise.
But you're right. So
I'm gonna roast him and then I'm gonna explain why that's not the case, but I'm definitely gonna play at those scenes. So like it may seem like he's putting off the uncomfortable conversations and the hard work onto other people, but I think one of his things is not understanding that everybody's not him and everybody doesn't kind of work the way that he does. Especially like I don't know if there's something inherently different about like I guess like humans and the way that humans deal with stuff versus Yoda species, and how because that's also like the cultural differences, the species differences are something that are often gets left out of conversations about the Jedi Order in general. But Yoda likes to put these sort of things like, hey, Obi-Wan, this is your Padawan, you should patch this up, you should like handle this update or whatever, because this is your creation, this is your problem, while not realizing that he didn't pick Anakin didn't pick him. This was not something that like I'll come back to that. No, but like but like the reality of the situation is, and always has been, he wanted to get Obi-Wan to step up and unfairly, I think, fill the shoes that Qui-Gon would have filled. But the problem is he's not him, and he wasn't ready, and he didn't sign up for this. And literally, I think Anakin should have been like a village baby. Everyone should have stepped up and contributed to him instead of them schlepping him off on the kid who was left without a master and didn't really get to work through all that. So I'm going to defend Yoda and say he had the best intentions at heart, hence him sending Obi-Wan to Mustafar and him having his little aerobics experience with Palpatine. I feel like I don't know, I always want to give him the benefit of the doubt with that. Well, damn it. Well, Element or Brandon, whichever one as our.
No, that's Element. It's Pep.
Okay.
It's Pep.
Yeah, Element, my son.
I think I just
Let's
also
see.
in my head like to have all of like the council is just sitting there and they're like, okay, everybody knows about Anakin, right? Like the situation's pretty serious. They're like, who's gonna do it? Not me. I'm not it.
They all do that.
And then
like,
Mace Windu staring
I'm
at
not guilty.
Obi-Wan like,
yeah. Mace, no. So it goes like everybody touches their nose. Mace just stares at Obi-Wan and goes, "That's your problem now,
That's
buddy.
your problem."
Okay,
That
wait, I have a
Mace goes-
question. I have a question.
Yeah.
So, what exactly is the wording from Obi-Wan? Does he say Master Yoda sent me, or does he say Master Yoda had some concerns?
No,
Yes,
he
it
said
confirms.
he said Master Yoda. What does he say? He says Master Yoda is concerned about your feelings towards Padme or something, like your feelings in this situation.
Or just mention about Clovis, and then
Yeah.
transitions into Satine, and then the whole.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's different from Master Yoda sent me to come talk to you. We don't have the conversation between Obi-Wan and Yoda. We don't know if
But that's
Yoda
essentially Yoda saying, "Hey, go talk to your Padawan."
I mean, I think it could be like it could be implied, but like because we don't have the actual like, I don't think we can make the like say, oh, Yoda did send Obi-Wan, because we don't know exactly if he did. We don't know if like they had a conversation, was like somebody needs to talk to him, and then Obi-Wan volunteered. Like we don't know how like the conversation turned out. It could have been Yoda being like, you should talk to your Padawan, or it could have been Obi-Wan being like, I guess I'll talk to him, or something like that.
Same energy as your sister coming in like, Mama told me you've been acting up at school.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That actually is a good point, Camilla, because like if it was really a Jedi lesson, if like, because I know that if he was sent there by Yoda, it would be considered a Jedi lesson. But if it was a Jedi lesson, would he really bring up Satine?
Yeah.
You know, you bring up a good point there.
But there's one thing I feel like we are missing, though, and I feel like it's very important to say, besides obviously minus the Bad Batch arc. I feel like this is the closest we get to Obi-Wan being honest with Anakin, if that makes any sense. Because like throughout this entire like relationship in canon, they kind of have this like, oh, we don't want to touch this boundary because
we
again,
don't
like
talk about Padme. No.
it's kind of like Camilla said, like he's like, Anakin's happy with Padme, we're gonna leave him alone, let him like go off in this fantasy world. And it's kind of, again, that ultimately is what their downfall is. Like, come on, that's what it is.
Again,
so it's
communication, Star Wars.
Communication. If you communicated your problems, and everything would have turned out better. Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
My thing is, I think it doesn't matter like who went to go talk to Anakin, because Anakin is Anakin. He would have found an issue with it no matter what.
1000%. Yeah.
Like even if this, was somehow, rephrased for it coming out of like Padme's mouth, he still wouldn't listen because he is so stubborn. And I don't think at this point anyone can kind of talk him out of anything unless it's Palpatine.
And not even Palpatine, I don't think. He's surrounded by people who he's trying to please, and everyone has different needs. And it's sort of like this weird Tetris-y juggling act he's trying. Like, no matter what, he would feel some sort of weird obligation to someone else. And I think Mace Windu has always been right to say this is like a way bigger task than we can handle as it is. And I find it very interesting that people are mad at Mace Windu for being the one who's consistently been like, this kid is a little angsty for me. Obi-Wan, have you like fed him and watered him recently? Like, have you checked his mood? Like, are you just like, what's going on? And I don't know. I sincerely, again, I'll join the. I don't think Mace Windu did anything wrong. He was abrasive in his delivery, but I think that too is a cultural difference.
So you're telling me that Anakin is grass-fed?
He is. He should. If he is, then he needs to be a little more free range.
Oh my god!
All right.
We need to give him a little bit more.
God.
Okay. All right.
Well, give him a little bit more galaxy.
Char, next question.
Okay, so fast forward into this episode, and we have an interesting scene with Clovis and Padme. So Clovis tells Padme essentially his backstory on how his parents were killed in a crash, and that the Munes adopted him, took them as one of their own, and he was essentially like a servant level person amongst their society, and that the people took great interest into his education, and that he was essentially raised, and because he understands that the Munes are the problem of what's happening, but he knows that they're good people, and with high emotions comes low rationality. So Clovis is like talking about how, because Padme in the scene is like very like avoiding, like whenever like Clovis does something, like puts his arm around her, she gets up, and whenever he holds her hand, she moves away, and then he says, "It's the Jedi, isn't he?" And then Padme immediately says, General Skywalker? and then he's like, "Oh no, we're just friends." And then Clovis is like, "Well, then I guess there's nothing that can stop me from doing this." And they're about to kiss, and then the doors open, and it's General Skywalker.
Cringy.
And then he's like, "Get away from her!"
Oh, love this. You know what?
Force chokes him.
I will say this
and-
is my toxic trait. I don't care.
So there's a huge brawl that breaks out, and I love the scene where Anakin and Clovis like bump fists because Anakin's metal arm just dink, and then he's just like, "Ow!" But so they have a huge fight, and then afterwards, Padme is pretty upset about the situation
And
Rightfully so.
As
Yeah,
she should.
yeah.
because
Rightfully so.
Anakin obviously was very weary of, or I would not say weary, but he was very pessimistic towards Clovis, and seeing him in that position with Padme gave him that
Jealousy.
instinct, was like, "Oh, you know what? That's my wife in secret. Let me do something about this." And then Padme is like, "You got to trust me. It's for the Republic." And in the episode prior, it was like, "Why is it every time I see you in this position, everything is about for the Republic?" So yeah, Anakin and Padme are not on good terms after this.
Bestie had I was like, "Go, bro. Kick that motherfucker's ass. Kick his ass because he deserves every bit of it." And then he goes and does the dumb shit of, "This doesn't concern you." What? Are you kidding me? You're literally fighting over her, you dumb son of a bitch. Like, literally.
Well, I mean, also,
After a certain point, it stopped being about her. He's like, "No, I need to save her this ass."
also, you
whipping."
gotta
I
give
was like-
Clovis. You have to give Clovis a little bit of credit for not blaming Anakin for the problem when Typho came in,
Oh,
yeah, he
well,
didn't snatch.
because they're like, "Oh, there was an attack, and someone's speeder ran away."
that
and then
still
Typho.
doesn't. No,
But like,
no, fuck that.
he,
That
he
still
coulda- he
doesn't give
coulda
him a green
snitched.
light to
Clovis, I guess Clovis isn't
No.
a snitch
But-
in that situation. Of
Hey,
That's
that doesn't give him a
still-
green light. That doesn't give him the green light to do inappropriate things to Padme. Come
I just
on now.
imagine, like, and on a scene between scene, there's just Panaka looking at the footage and just going, "Delete."
Probably.
So yeah,
Sorry,
after
Tar,
that,
go ahead.
Anakin and Padme are not on good terms. So I want to ask you guys: had Padme walked in on Padme, or had Anakin walked in on Padme and Clovis at a different point in the timeline of their relationship, do you think the outcome would have been same or different? Was his response a foreshadowing into his descent into the dark side?
Easy.
I think,
I
it
think
for
at any point.
sure-
Yeah.
yeah, I think it.
Oh no, here we go.
Okay, also I just want to say this is where Padme and I are very different from each other.
Alanis would say the same thing.
Getting outed here on Podwan.
Listen. I'm just saying, Anakin coming in like that, coming in hot and heavy. Okay, let's go. Shit, bye, Clovis. See you later. Anyway.
Man.
I definitely think that at any point in the relationship, it definitely would have happened. I do think that Anakin would have listened to Padme more than he did, if that makes sense, because the only reason why he does it is because he knows about the relationship between Clovis and Padme, and so it makes it much more passionate for him in that moment of, I'm just beating the shit out of Padme's ex-boyfriend. So he's like, yeah. But I definitely think that at a different point in their relationship that he still would have done it, but he would have listened to Padme more whenever she was like, "Stop, don't do that." I think he probably would have backed down a little bit and been a little bit more reasonable than he was.
Hey, you know what? Chris? You
Okay,
know-
no, but Clovis holds his own at the beginning for a hot second.
Oh,
He
he
does,
does.
yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
why? Let's not use these Jedi things, and I fucking love it. Anakin goes, "All right, bitch," throws his
It
lightsaber
would
and goes, "Let's
be
go."
my pleasure.
Yeah,
But-
dude.
But the thing I
way
don't
he just-
understand, I will never understand about this fight. He goes, no more Jedi tricks. And then Anakin proceeds at the end of the fight to start using the Force. Like, that isn't cheating at all.
No, yeah. I'm
Hey, this
sorry.
is a street fight or
All-
an apartment
Anakin
fight.
can do whatever
Anything
he wants
goes.
in that moment. Okay.
all I'm saying is Clovis deserved that ass beating. Was it right for Anakin to do it? No. Not at all. And I'm not condoning Anakin's actions, but being a Clovis hater, loved every minute of it. That slimy ugh. He makes me want to throw up. I loved every minute of him kicking his ass. It was great. And then I'm like, dude, you just have to understand. Wait, hold on, what? Oh,
Why you're hitting yourself?
oh, wait, hold on. Wait, there were
My
two.
internet dropped out. Sorry.
No, but
Oh,
you.
no.
That's so weird because there's two of you now.
Don't say
My
the
dream.
line. Don't say the line.
Anyway.
Nuke gun Ray is not allowed here.
Yeah. That's another one. I have a lot of people that I have a lot of hate for in the Star Wars franchise. I've just discovered that. Nedra?
Nedra's
Nedra?
power went out.
Nedra heard you say the word hate. You were like,
Oh, is your
Wait.
apartment or house haunted?
Are
'Cause
you
that-
okay?
Are we getting a paranormal activity right now?
go hug Santo in the back. He'll protect you.
Oh, man.
What the hell was
The hell is
happening?
that? Oh my god! All right,
Everybody hands up. Who's doing it?
yeah.
Not me. Use the
That
Force.
took way too long to get them hands.
Anyway,
It was me.
Camilla, your thoughts on the question?
What was the question? No, I know the question. I mean, the whole entire reason why he fights Clovis is because he sees Clovis about to kiss Padme when she is like, no, don't. So if he walks in at a different point. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's talk about the question really quick. In the timeline of their relationship, do you mean in this arc or
Like,
In canon,
like
in-
if it
in
were
their
for
beginning
like
of
if it were to
their-
happen like
yeah.
in Attack of the Clones, or if it would have happened like sometime like during Revenge of the Sith.
Oh,
okay,
dude,
I
you
see.
know?
So if he had walked in on this exactly what's happening between Clovis and Padme in like Attack of the Clones, is that what we're saying?
or like brotherhood, like in different parts of their relationship.
If he walked in on like Clovis trying to kiss Padme, when she
Yes.
clearly doesn't want it.
Yes.
I see what we're saying. Okay, then I mean, yeah, I think yes. I think the
Straight up.
yeah,
He-
it's like
it's getting toasted.
I think later on, it's clearly more aggressive. I think it would be less aggressive earlier on, and yeah, he'd be more likely to stop when Padme's saying like stop, because he's not as like. I don't think he's like let all of the like the jealousy at that point is different than I think it would have been earlier on, because like you see them earlier on in their relationship, especially like right after Attack of the Clones, and in some of the books they're better at making compromises in terms of like Padme being like, I have to go do something for the public, and Anakin's like, I want to be respectful of that. Like he's respectful of it at the beginning of the relationship. He's clearly not here anymore at all, because he's let his like jealousy and his feelings of Clovis get in the way, and because like of what happened in the previous Clovis episode, and so he's like got that in the back of his head. So if he doesn't have that in the back of his head, then yeah, I think it would have ended a little differently. But was his response a foreshadowing into his descent to the dark side? No, it tells me that he's fully in the light. He doesn't use the dark side at all. Like he's 100% the best Jedi ever. He would never that's 100% what lightsiders do. They don't become something where he doesn't know what's come over him. That's like 100% the light side of the Force. You know, Padme.
I mean, Avar Chris, great example. L's our man. Great example, you know.
Yeah, like the whole whenever a character is like, I don't know who's in there. Sometimes you're like, oh yeah, light side of the force.
Yeah, there ain't no dark there, baby. No way.
No dark.
Oh,
No dark.
Also,
dark.
Chris, that kid that you're talking about, that Anakin whooped his ass. It was a little Rodian
Greedo.
called Greedo.
Yeah. He had them hands. He would have kicked Clovis's ass when he was 9 years old too. No doubt. Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Baby Greedo.
Because you
Alanis.
said that 9-year-old Anakin and
Yeah, he
Clovis
kicked-
in a fight.
Yo, hell yeah.
Like, oh,
Absolute
God.
ass handed to him.
Alanis, your thoughts?
Oh, I agree with everyone. I think it doesn't matter when this happened. Anakin still would have threw hands. It's just the severity of the throwing of the hands.
Oh, wow. I mean, that is true. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, hence why he said Elzar.
Yeah, but he ultimately regretted it. Well, so did
Anakin.
Anakin. God, those two are too similar. Nedra, your thoughts on the question?
So listen, I do believe. So yes, okay. The question isn't like, oh, would it have been the same? No, it would not have been the same. That's kind of the way relationships work. Intensity, like impact of events changes. But what I would like to talk about is how
Sweet ass whooping.
similar his reaction is to this guy's reaction
Yeah.
when he got drunk and ran into a Trandoshan just in the sweet spot, like, I'm full of drink, I just lost my job, let's go. And I was listening to Beyonce's Break My Soul.
Yes, I already love where this is going.
I love how her new album's getting brought into this. Yes.
As you should.
His job, so
Put him down,
same
Sento.
energy. Same energy, right? But like, I realized I had the same kind of reaction to both things because, in a sense, it's sort of this overflowing of frustration with status. And I think Anakin's reaction as like, okay, well, like we can split hairs about it later, but like at its core, what it is was him reacting to this guy who has the ability to be public with Padme, to actually like be the guy he dreams of when he's like laying in bed at night. Like he could have that life with Padme at any given second. And he doesn't see what makes him special. He doesn't see what makes him better than that. And so his reaction is 100% thinking like he's interchangeable with this dude, and it's just him snapping. And then eventually he gets to a point where he says, this has nothing to do with you. He was not kidding. Like it didn't have anything to do with him, or it had nothing to do with Padme per se. It had to do with this like absolute lack of power and lack of control that he had, and this like glimpse into this black space of a future that he has. Like it was a face-to-face realization that this is a reality he'll never be able to have with her.
Mhm.
And like that this could have been any guard who walked in or whatever, and would like he'd be none the wiser. Like, there was just all these levels to that. And I think with Chrysanthemum also, it was him as a dude with no job in a bar who has been exiled by his people or whatever the case is in canon. I'm not sure.
Yep. Yeah. He
But,
was
like,
exiled. Yeah.
Right. So like he's got this frustration with like he's got a bunch of people who are known for like hunting and being awful to his people. He sure does. He's got but like, yeah, it's just sort of this like realization of like I have nothing to lose, and just sort of like this facing of reality where it's like with Chrysanthemum, he had this sort of incubation from his status as an exiled Wookiee, as someone who's like a gladiator bare knuckle brawler, like this really primitive sort of this thing that got him all of this privilege and this notoriety and all this sort of stuff, having that stripped away and being a dude in a bar and having to look at that. And it's sort of the same as Anakin being, you know, a guard at the end of the day, when that's his literal wife that this dude feels free to put his hands on because he has to live in the shadows. I just, based on my own feelings and my own reactions to those scenes, I was able to draw that parallel because I was like, "Ooh, they tickle the same part," and it's like of my brain, and like
Preference, gotta preference that. Tickle the brain.
of the brain, and that made me realize that there's a big similarity there. Just sort of like being exposed to the part of your brain you turn off to get through the day.
And this
Anyway, Palpatine is putting in work, man. Around this point, he is.
And this is why they needed to talk to each other. And Anakin needed to be like, yo, your priorities have shifted. I'm like 100% devoted to you, but I feel like you care more about the Republic than I do. And that's why but I think part of it is like, I don't think Anakin, this is why therapy. Anakin is not, Padme is the only empath in the relationship. Anakin is just emotional without the path.
Yes.
He is the M without the path. And like
that path is to the dark side.
Precisely. And
that was on my bingo card.
Wow. 10 10. And if Anakin was able to be introspective and realize, oh, I'm feeling this way because I'm upset that I'm like so devoted to this woman. I'm tired of fighting. Like I'm putting her first, but she's not putting me first. She's putting this other thing first, which also includes this man. Let me like talk to her about that. And then she would be able to be like, talk about how she's feeling on the other end. And then they'd be able to like, hopefully, if they talk to it and then don't come to a resolution, that's a whole nother conversation. But hopefully they'd be able to talk about it. And then she could help like ease his fears. And then he could help like understand her a little bit more and where she's coming from so that they could be like reevaluate their relationship and be like, okay, you know what? Maybe we should start thinking about like, if our relationship needs to survive, then maybe we do need to go public because like it's not going to keep working if we keep doing it secret. But they just needed to freaking talk to each other about
AKA,
all of this.
AKA kids, if you get in a serious relationship, talk.
You gotta
If
be
you
able
don't
to
like
talk.
something, if you don't like something, speak. Don't be afraid of what because it can't always be a one-way street.
But that also
relationships
like,
Go ahead,
sorry, go, please no, don't.
relationships are two-way street. They always have been, always will. If you're really committed to the person that you're with, you have to be willing to hear them out. And you want to hear them out because if it's God damn it. God damn it.
I can deal with Palpatine. I can deal with Palpatine.
I don't
Love
do
you.
a
I do.
It's his
Oh
Yes.
my God damn
But
it.
you must consider that sometimes when you're in a relationship with someone, you have different needs. And that's my Ahsoka. But no, like,
Go to Olive Garden. Go to Olive Garden for dinner. We must get the steak and Alfredo. I will.
Oh,
Actually,
Watch
just-
the chicken Alfredo.
Actually, just talk to your partner in Sergeant Hunter's voice, and then you'll be golden.
Oh, Jesus. or crosshair.
Do you want to go get dinner?
Oh,
tech,
I am hungry.
I would just like
Where
to
is
say
Rekka?
happy birthday to Carter. Everybody in the chat put happy birthday.
Caught a
Happy
diaper.
birthday.
Carter, my little
Happy
brother,
birthday.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kata.
We miss you. We know you're doing amazing things. So there you go.
I will say this, and then we could
Okay.
do not sire to your microphone.
I love to get the medium rare sirloin.
Not the
Very
al-
delicious.
Make it more
Only if
smoky.
you get
It needs
the
to be
blossom,
smoky.
the blossom
It is my
onion,
specialty.
or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I need you to highlight out Pep's comment.
The
Yes,
only way
sit
you're getting to
on
dinner
one place.
is with me and my one-seater tie.
Oh my god.
Say less. I'm there.
All right. Oh my god. All right, man.
Remy has gone full
Are
feral.
we gonna
Well-
even gonna get to episode 3 or no?
Let's move back to the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Wait, I
On
want to hear what
Cartoon
Nedra was
Network.
talking about.
Yeah,
terms
yeah,
of
Nedra. Yeah,
people's
Nedra, go ahead.
needs.
Go ahead.
People have different needs, is what
Yeah,
you were
Someone
saying.
mentioned Thrawn. I'm done. Yeah, no. When you historically, fuck. Yeah, no. So history, right? Padme and Anakin have known. Yeah, okay, there we go. This is where I am. So, like, a weird thing with them is I feel like if they communicated, their relationship would probably fall apart. A lot, and this is just my individual hot take. I think a lot of their relationship is rooted in the fact that they've known each other so long, and their relationship being so rooted in their youth and this like simpler time for both of them kind of clouds their judgment in their compatibility in present moment. So it sort of cranks up the sort of connection, like despite as someone who's been in that position, you sort of like don't think about so much about what your present day compatibility is. There's just this connection to a time when things were easier and made sense, and was before all the wacky stuff started happening and before things went off the rails. And I think that's a big part of Padme and Anakin's relationship, and why someone who is otherwise very empathetic and very in tune emotionally and very willing to have difficult conversations as a diplomat refuses to have these conversations with this man because he represents a connection to something she has very little connection to anymore.
Yeah. That's definitely true. That's definitely true.
Alanis, I feel like it would be because you know how Yoda and Palpatine's voices were mentioned. What if you got asked out to a date by Wrecker? And you're like, hey, Wrecker,
Alanis, would you like to go on a date?
Want to go
Yes.
on the Ferris wheel?
It'd be rad.
Hey,
Yes.
Want to go on the Ferris wheel? Oh, I don't like heights.
I don't like heights.
I feel like that's fine, Beth. You can go on the go-kart.
up.
The
feel like that's
roller
fine.
Let's
coaster
blow
of
something
emotions
up.
that's on the screen right now is god tier.
And Cross is like, I'm not hungry.
No, and then she would just
My appetite
Incinerate.
is draining.
she would incinerate. She would just.
You know what,
well,
Crosshair?
I
I
would
have something
date
else you
Wrecker
can
to
eat.
get-
So.
Oh my!
I'm sorry. I'm
God.
sorry. You okay? Listen. You
Do you know why
did this
I'm
to
in
yourself.
charge of the meals?
Oh, this is
Because
the
I
best.
know
face.
you, Remy,
Camilla's
This,
face.
this is the
She's like,
best
"What?"
and most batshit insane episode of
Because,
Apocalypse we've ever had.
This is
I
great.
eat more than just one thing per day.
Oh my God, Char! Stop! Stop!
You're just
You are-
agging it on at this.
I am TT9904.
All right, okay. I'm
Anyway,
gonna
so you
wrap-
guys are gonna have me on for the bad.
Oh,
Batch,
shut
right?
Let's move on.
No. Oh my God. Okay, well, all right. That's it for episode 2. Man, are we ever gonna? This is just.
I'm gonna do more voice impressions. Oh, here
right.
comes Godfrey.
Every.
All right, thanks for the warning. So
Yes.
I'm gonna close my
Honestly,
eyes
no.
because
You
then
should do.
I don't
You should
know.
do. You should do Wrecker. Do Wrecker.
Oh yeah, do Wrecker.
Do record.
Charge is trying to gloss over something. And I know what things you're talking about.
Yeah. Just do it in that voice.
In record,
Do it. Is it a long one? Is it a long one?
all of these plot summaries are like.
No,
But
we gotta.
okay, I'll try my best with Wrecker. Okay, I think I got to get my microphone away because I'm like, no. Okay, ready. Season 6, episode 7, Crisis at the Heart. Corruption discovered at the core of the banking clan. Reunited Rush Clovis and Senator Amidala discover the full extent of the deception. That sounded sus.
That sounds like Niebuhr Gaspar had a kid with Dexter
No,
Jester.
I'll do the rest. I'll do the rest as Hunter.
There we go.
Anakin
No, just go
Skywalker
Godfrey.
is
Just
sent to the rescue.
Godfrey.
He refuses to trust Clovis and asks Padme not to work with him. Determined to save the banks, she refuses her husband.
All right, Godfrey. Godfrey. Go,
This is
Godfrey.
dark.
Corruption discovered at the core of the banking clan. Reunited, Rush Clovis and Senator Amidala discover the full extent of the deception. Anakin Skywalker is sent to the rescue. He refuses to trust Clovis and asks Padme not to work with him. Determined to save the banks, she refuses her husband's request, throwing their relationship into turmoil. Voted for by both the Separatists and the Republic, Clovis is elected new leader of the Galactic Banking Clan. Now all attention is focused on Scipio as the important transfer of power begins.
Okay,
God.
Now
Char.
that was fun.
I can't go higher than a 2. That beginning was horrible. So 2.
But I started from the top with Gottfried.
I know. I'm still gonna count the other 2.
Well, you suck.
All right. Hereth, you good to take this one, or do you want me to take it?
You can take it.
Okay.
I've been broken by.
You've been out of commission for a while. The third and final episode of this arc.
don't
I know
care.
everybody. I know we're having a whole bunch of fun. We're talking about Clovis getting his ass kicked, and some things just have to come to an end. The episode title is "Crisis at the Heart." The moral
Summary?
of the you already read it. The moral is deceit is the weapon of greed. So obviously we obviously see in last episode that Dooku is able to get Clovis into the leadership into the leadership of the banking clan. And they go back to Scipio and they have to work things out. The clones, me and Alanis were watching this while she was typing the notes, and she was asking me if these questions were good or not, and I was saying yes, they're good.
Ghostwriter.
And
If Alanis her paycheck.
Wait,
what?
on it, Bessie.
Of what? What do you want me to give her? A penny?
Alanis
I don't think that's
paid.
worth anything. Why would I give her a
Alanis
penny?
Paid. Unionize against the Podruns podcast.
Oh God, here we go. This is how
I'm here for it.
I die. Anyway,
So many unpaid hours.
This is how Liberty dies with Luke Hagen.
yeah. Anyway. I loved the fact that both the clones and the droids are like guarding each other, but like my headcanon was like after they left, like both the clones were just like kicking rocks or playing games while the droids are just like shut down. And I'm just like, this is so strange of me to thinking of this, but I just had to throw that out there. But question number 1, how is Clovis's role as a pawn parallel to Anakin's own role as one within Palpatine's game?
I think it just shows that Palpatine does not care about anyone that is not Palpatine. Like, it just kind of shows that, in a way, it doesn't matter who you are in the galaxy. If Palpatine has a use for you, he's going to exploit the shit out of it. I mean, he does it with, like, literally everyone. I mean, especially Thrawn. See, you thought I was going to break my streak about not talking Thrawn in this podcast. Holding strong. Oh my God, wait. Nedra, that's my sticker. I was like, wait.
Did you not know that she was a Thrawn stan?
No, I didn't. That's like from my Etsy. That's hilarious. Anyway.
Every supporting
Worlds
you bitches be
collide.
quiet, my bad.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Wow. Full circle here. Full circle here at Podwan's podcast.
Cute.
Oh my God, I love it. Well, that just made my day. I just saw that in the
Derailed.
wild.
Anyway, We love
Anyway,
it. We
throne
love it.
supremacy.
Gaslight gatekeep. No, I did that wrong.
Gaslight
You did it
gatekeep girl
wrong.
boss.
Oh, I did. I was doing it right. Son of a bitch. Anyway, sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, I just think it shows that like Palpatine do be the worst, and everyone is a pawn to him. And if he has a way to exploit you, he's going to.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that it's. I mean, yeah, there's not really much to elaborate on that. It's this is pretty much it. Actually.
Camilla.
How's Clovis's role as a pawn parallel to Anakin's own role as one within Palpatine's game? I mean, it's like everyone is pawns, but they're just like different levels of pawns. Like, I don't know if it would be a direct parallel, if that makes sense, because Clovis is expendable in a way that Anakin isn't expendable.
Yeah. That's
And
fair.
so it's
The
like they're
Clovis
all
army.
pawns. The Clovis army.
Would
They're
you
expendable.
well when you're talking about expendable, would it be better in saying like Dooku and Clovis are kind of similar in that way? Because in reality, Dooku is expendable. Anakin is the next thing that Palpatine is wanting. So wouldn't
But I
that be
don't
a better
think-
comparison?
I mean, Palpatine is never going to put Clovis in charge of an armies and stuff like that. He puts him in
Right.
charge of the bank so that he can ASAP and then get himself in charge of the banks. So it's
Yeah.
like Clovis is honestly, Clovis is more of a pawn in terms of like someone. I'm trying to think of somebody on a lower level.
He's just a twofer. He's a twofer. He gets him what he needs from the banking clan, and he also fucks with Anakin's head a little bit. A lot of it.
Exactly. So yeah, it's not. I don't say it's necessarily a parallel. It's just it further emphasizes the different pawns and different levels of pawns that Palpatine has, and it's like at the end of the day, it's like sad that Clovis at the beginning of it actually did want to do the right thing, and then was backed into a corner and didn't choose to do the right thing. He ended up choosing the wrong thing, and his ending was going to be ending no matter what. But it's like, yeah, it emphasizes that everyone is a pawn, but some people are more expendable than others.
Clovis was definitely playing poker while like Palpatine was playing chess. And I think it was sort of like Clovis, you could tell, just sort of walked around like operating on a very regular TV show level and didn't realize he was in Star Wars, and then it wasn't until like he got sucked into things he was like, oh, I might die for that.
He's like, wait, I'm not Star Trek? What?
No, I was like, no, I'm not. No, this isn't the Big Bang Theory. Hot damn. So like Bazinga, I guess. So, like, Mans was like caught off guard, and then not to skip ahead, but like, yeah, he kind of came to the realization that like, wow, all of this is way bigger than me, and I have had my head buried in the sand. I was acting like Padme Amidala was like a Sports Illustrated model that I was just trying to like nail or whatever, and then I realized, oh, there's she's an actual sinner. Oh, there's an actual war. Oh, there's a lot happening around me, and by the time you realize that, it was too late. I think that's a big part of when I say that Palpatine is a messy bitch who lives for drama, I mean he does that deliberately. He keeps people in disarray because that's the easiest way to control people. When people realize things are spiraling out of control and you're the single person that's like, I know things are crazy. Here's a plan that I already have ready to go. People are more likely to latch on to that. And I think that's one of the things that Palpatine does incredibly well, and how he kind of manages to like most of the things that happen that he didn't orchestrate, he planned for anyway, because he just kind of hangs out at the crib painting his toenails and thinking about like plans he could slide into people's hands when things get rocky. I the more I've gotten into Star Wars, the more I've started to absolutely adore Sheev Palpatine as a villain, because he is so good at it. He's one of the best aging villains in anything that I've ever, like, the more lore you add to things, it's
Yeah.
it keeps getting better. It's
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. No, yeah. And I
So
think
Nedra.
I think I said that earlier.
So Nedra, in
But
Star
she
Wars
said it a
terms-
lot more
So in Star Wars
eloquently.
terms of what you said that Clovis is playing Sabak while Palpatine is playing Dejarik,
I don't know what Dejarik is, but
the holochess game.
I was gonna say the chess game in the Ascendancy trilogy.
Well,
okay,
some
so I
of
didn't
some
finish
people
that.
yeah, some people didn't read that book.
I know,
Sabak is
don't.
like Star Wars poker, and then
We know
holochess is like chess.
Anyway.
No, so I haven't finished the Thrawn books, and it's really like, you guys, I'm a Thrawn stan, and like I read the first three, read Mark Thompson's The Goat, read the first three, and now I'm terrified to start the Ascendancy trilogy because I kind of just want to live in alliances forever.
I promise you, it's worth it.
Everybody
It's so worth it.
Everybody, no. Here's the thing, Nedra. I'm with you. The best out of the 3 books in the first trilogy is alliances. Absolutely, I'm with you. See, exactly. Daddy Vader makes that entire freaking book.
I wonder why the Anakin stan likes alliances. I wonder why you'd lean to that book. Huh? It's totally not obvious.
All right.
make a case.
Let's move on. We're
It's a good book.
Maybe
whatever.
It's not like I'm such a master detective. It's not Captain Obvious or anything.
all right. So, obviously, Clovis gets played by Dooku, and he ends up, Dooku ends up having Padme, unfortunately, kill the senator from the Separatists, and that doesn't look good on Clovis's part. And Padme has pretty much lost all faith in Clovis. And then the Separatists invade. Padme sends a message to Anakin. Anakin's like, okay. Well, not to Anakin, but to Palpatine. And Palpatine, again, being a master manipulator, was like, all right, my boy, sending you over there. Have fun. I know exactly what you're going to do. And I also think it's interesting because we were talking about Yoda. Because he literally brings up, Skywalker, are you capable of doing this? I know your feelings.
Mhm.
And Anakin's like, yeah, dude, let's go. Let's do this. Like, I don't care about, I know you know about my feelings. I don't care. I just want to save my wife without saying I want to save my wife. He ends up doing that. And like, it's so funny how Dooku's just like, all right, let's make him look like he's like Clovis was the Separatist all along. And it works perfectly. Absolutely works perfectly. It's almost, it's kind of similar to the Siege of Mandalore in a way. Like,
my favorite moment of all this is Clovis has a gun at Padme, going, "Padme, I am not your enemy." As like he has a gun at her head.
Yeah, and Anakin's like, okay, see, babe, see, I tried to warn you. This guy's an asshole. But anyway, he ends up in all 3 of them end up in a situation where Anakin has to hold on to both of them, and he just can't do that. And Clovis says, "Let me go." But Anakin, I feel like in that moment, he tries to make a conceited effort to save Clovis. I truly do.
It's not like he had the Force or anything could have like lifted him.
Well,
stasis him
yeah.
from falling.
I mean, he might have not. But I'm saying like before he just like let go.
I think that is the illustration of his battle between the dark side and the light side.
Or Anakin was like, all right, as you wish. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, bitch. Thank you. Anyway.
Thank you. Next.
Now I'm gonna go hold my wife.
So speaking of that, then this is the last question for the entire episode. Do you think Clovis made the sacrifice out of love of Padme, or because he knew he would not make it out of the situation had he lived?
Definitely because he knew he wouldn't make it out of the situation.
Oh, absolutely. That motherfucker was
Yeah.
God. Sorry.
It's not that I don't think that Clovis had some love for Padme in a very twisted, sick way. But he
Icky.
definitely was he definitely was very selfish in that moment of kind of like what Nedra was saying earlier, where he's like, oh, this is a lot bigger than I thought that it was. And so I think he realizes that as he's like kind of dangling there. And I mean, he also knew that Anakin would pick Padme over him anyway. And so I think he just kind of knew his fate.
Camilla?
I mean, homeboy did not love Padme. Like, he liked her,
100%.
and he thought she was hot, and he had the hots for Padme, but he didn't actually love her.
Okay,
Like,
fair.
like, if he actually loved her, he wouldn't be holding a gun to her head and being like,
Yeah.
"I'm not an enemy," blah, 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 and all of the things that, like, if he actually loved her, he wouldn't be, because he was trying to, like, in his own way. I mean, the scene in episode 2 when he's like, when they're having dinner, and I'm trying to figure out exactly like what the like lines were and what was being said, but the way that he was talking to Padme was all about like him being like egging her on, and
Well,
not.
yeah.
And
Well, even in that
That
scene,
Brannigan energy. 100%.
yeah.
He even I pointed this out when we were watching it. He like when Padme starts to like ask him questions and her back's turned, he does a fucking eye roll. I'm like, fuck you, dude. You have no idea how much I can't wait for you to get your ass beat in like 5 minutes. So
my
that's another
God.
reason why. But we got to get past that. But
Yeah.
I digress. Sorry, Camilla. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, he definitely. I think also part of it is like to atone for what he did. I think there's also like an aspect of him actually hating himself and being like, when Padme's like, how could you? I thought you actually wanted it. Like, because you did see Clovis at one point when he's sitting down at the desk and he gets to be the head, and he's like, no, I'm going to be a different kind of leader. And Dooku's like, absolutely not. I'm not gonna let Dooku's like, joke's on you. You're so sweet. Wow. No.
Oh, you're so cute.
Yeah. Oh, you're so cute when you
little
try to be an
fawn.
idealist. Oh, how cute.
And
But,
the
Get
comedic
ready to
irony-
die.
The comedic irony is Dooku is the ultimate pawn, so it's like the pawn of a pawn.
yeah. But so no, Clovis was like, I'm not making it out alive, but also I think it's like, I don't deserve to live. Like me or Padme, I don't deserve to live. Everyone or Padme, none of us deserve to live. It's between any of us and Padme.
Yeah, that's true.
Or she literally has a Jedi that's way too invested in her. Take me out now, because I know this man would probably drag me across coals and set me on fire on a lava planet. I don't know where I'm getting this sense, but I think this guy wouldn't go easy on me. Kill me now for my free reading. And then also there's like, I think there's also I had a point and it just walked out of the room.
Maybe that was what was turning off the lights.
Yeah, no.
Theory, maybe.
It might have been the sky screaming at me. Yeah, no. There's the whole notion of Anakin did a lot of ho shit. I'm sorry. He did a lot of like he did a lot of
We call
special
a spade a,
missions.
we call a spade here. Go ahead.
He
All
went on a
shit.
lot of special missions and performed a lot of special operations for the Republic. And I don't remember Padme ever having conversations with him about that. And I think the real issue was Padme's confident in her position and who she is. And he absolutely isn't, because he still sees himself as like a slave boy from a desert planet. And so when he sees her doing kind of the same stuff that he has done for other missions, he's like, ew, really? This guy? And I'm getting thunder again. They're like, no, like, ew, this guy. And like Clovis is like, oh, I'm a millionaire, thousandaire playboy philanthropist. Like, this is just what I do. What's up, Padme? Want to make out? And then Anakin walks in and is like, that is the love of my life, and breaks people's necks. And I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
TLDR, that man didn't love Padme. He was having fun. Anakin is a kind of a slave to his past, and as a result can never, no matter what he would have accomplished ever, would never be good enough for Padme in his head. And this is a battle he would be fighting as an old man, probably against Ben Kenobi somewhere, even if he had become like Andrew Skywalker or something, you know.
Yeah. Alanis?
Everyone really summed it up. Everyone, yeah.
All right. Jar, 3 interesting facts.
All
Take us
right.
home. And you weren't prepared.
I am prepared. 3 interesting facts about a certain Clone Wars arc that you didn't know about until now. Part 35, the Clovis Arc edition. Fact 1, Scipio's inspiration. The imagery and symbols of the banking clan are strongly influenced by Switzerland, a nation known for its banks and wartime neutrality. The mountains of Scipio are not unlike the Swiss Alps, and the complex gears and inner workings of the vaults are nods to Swiss clockwork construction. Fact 2, Arabesh translations. According to the abbreviations on the data screen of Clovis's evidence, the bankrupt corporations of the banking clan include Dynamic Synergetics Incorporated, Telex Delcor, Honvico, Cyanar Fleet Systems, Sartran Corporation, and the Corellian Chemical Corporation. Fact 3, a clone commander's inspiration. With his wing-adorned helmet and a rotating blaster called the Hammer, Clone Commander Thorn is a nod toward the classic Marvel Comics superhero, Thor.
Nice.
And there you have it. Those are the 3 interesting facts about the Clovis Arc. And it's kind of funny how I had a Thor fact.
Timing.
Love and Thunder.
Timing. We
Time
are, if
elite.
we are like Pod One's podcast, we should
Oddly
just make
enough.
a t-shirt. Great timing. Perfect timing. But we're gonna rank this episode. Everybody in the chat, tell me what you guys think. Nedra, what are we ranking?
We didn't rank the previous one, did we?
Well, it's an art.
Sorry,
Camila was ready. I love it.
Yep.
Just got them on the meow meow on deck.
Yeah,
The
meow,
meow
meow.
meow.
Meow, meow.
Meow meow on deck.
I
We
prefer
didn't
a
do
big
the
wooden
previous episode. Can I just rate the arc?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we're doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're ranking the arc. We didn't rank the other
Grandmaster, let's go.
Oh,
It feeds me constantly whenever when it's cold outside. It's got the month of May. The Grandmaster for sure.
okay. Remy,
I would definitely probably just give it a Jedi Master.
okay.
I think that it has a lot to do with Anakin's character, and this is like it dives very deep into Anakin's character. So that
And the ass beating.
Ye-
Gotta love
yeah,
that.
that's probably what.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that. Yeah, gotcha. Alanis,
I'm gonna go with.
are you gonna be a hot take here? Are you gonna give a hot take here, babe?
No, I'm actually gonna say Grandmaster.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm gonna say
Ooh.
Grandmaster.
Camilla,
I'm gonna go Jedi Knight. Not quite Grandmaster for me personally, but like Jedi Knight because yes, it does a lot of like interesting things and like raises a lot of interesting questions. But it actually makes me like as I was rewatching it last night, it actually made me like really sad and really upset because like this
Yeah.
is Padme's final arc, and it's like an arc that's so traumatic for her. And she goes through so much, and like yes, a lot of the focus is on like Anakin and Clovis, but like Homegirl lost Tekla, one of her handmaidens.
I was
Yeah.
about
She's
to
like-
mention Tekla.
Pour one
Yeah.
out for Tekla.
Yeah, pour one out for
Uh,
Tekla. She's like imprisoned. She's accused of espionage. She's like trapped twice on this planet. She witnesses her husband turn into this monster, and like she doesn't feel safe. She doesn't have anyone to talk to. She feels completely alone. And then at the end of the day, she was wrong about Clovis when she was like, he's not going to fool me twice. Like, homegirl goes through so much in this arc, and it breaks me. And the fact that that is her final arc in the Clone Wars makes me like genuinely very upset.
We should have gotten the Mon Cala arc, which would have been Padme's last arc of her trying to discover why Palpatine's in office for too long. But Clone Wars got canceled.
But Clone Wars and Star Wars hates women,
Rip.
so I'm kidding. They're getting better about it.
Except that they have orange paint.
They what?
Except that they have orange paint because
Exactly.
Ahsoka is the main female of Clone Wars.
Yeah, which I'm not like, I don't need Padme to be the main character of Clone Wars by any stretch, but it makes me sad that this is her final arc and it's such a traumatic one for her and everything that she goes through.
Yeah. Hereth?
I'm gonna go Jedi Knight as well. I think it has some great elements in there. I think there's a lot of like good like moments. Like obviously the Obi-Wan Anakin conversation, I feel like is one of the best Clone Wars scenes. But just because it has great elements figured throughout doesn't make it a great arc overall. So I'm gonna say good.
Okay. Char.
I'll give this one a Jedi Master. I think it sets up the future of what's to come, specifically with the ending of this arc being that the Supreme Chancellor is now in control of the banking clan, which
that speech. Donobanks! I was like, you motherfucker.
which means like this is how the Empire has so much money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's so funny too because you can briefly see at the end where Mon Mothma is crossing her arms in disapproval,
Yeah.
which is like
Bail
a
Organa,
foreshadow.
I was joking to Luke. Bail Organa's in the back, like, I told y'all, mother effers.
No. Bale's like, I fucking voted no on Clovis, you sons of bitches. You should have gotten on the boat, you assholes. See what you have done.
I want the conversation between like Bale and Padme because obviously they have like
Yes.
very different opinions on Clovis, and I was
Yes.
like, oh, I would be interested. It's probably one of the few times they differed.
It was a dance
Yeah.
battle for sure.
Yeah, and she definitely like came back with her tail between her legs. Everybody being like, "You were wrong, Padme," and so
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that might have made her squeamish too when it came time to put Palpatine in charge. Like this whole thing might have made her trust her intuition a bit less and be less vocal about like what's right because she got this one so aggressively wrong. There you go. There's some more ammo for why Palpatine wanted to egg this on, because it weakened her intuition, it weakened her trust in her own gut and her abilities as a politician.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man is listen.
Sean gives it a
Listen.
Jedi Knight. Pat gives it a Jedi Master. Ven also says Jedi Master.
Love you,
So
Ven.
to culminate, I would probably say this is a comfortable
Well, I
Jedi
didn't
Master.
give my ranking.
Luke
Well, no
didn't
one
give a
cares
ranking.
about you.
Wow, we're not. I was like we're just, I thought like Luke is just never gonna rank the arc. Okay.
Jedi Master.
I thought you were going.
I'm not even
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
give you.
I
Wow,
thought
they
you were-
changed the
Wow.
entire thing. Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Wow, we have to change the entire.
I was
ranking
expecting a
now.
Chris's Padawan to completely.
I was
just
expecting
shift
to say.
the tide.
I thought he was gonna
Whatever.
go young. I thought he was
Whatever.
gonna,
All
like,
right.
be like,
All right.
the worst
That's-
arc. Clovis
that-
is in it.
That's the show. I'll start with Nedra. Where can the good people follow you?
On the computer. Nedralovescosplay everywhere except on Twitter. I'm Nedralovesjedi. I'm gonna start posting again. I just got my voice back and stuff.
Good.
And
Glad you're feeling
I'm
better.
thank you. It feels good, I guess, and stuff. I am now an Eddie Munson Stan account. A lot of
Yes,
people
you
play
should.
I think my big grand act of returning to TikTok might be posting me playing Master of Puppet.
Yes.
That's
Very
awesome.
nice.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
didn't run this time.
Yep.
Immediately, yes.
I will say all of Alanis's titles because her computer literally just crashed.
Good
You can
boy,
follow her at Notakyber at all social medias. Not Beings of the Galaxy. What is it called?
Discovering the
Discovering
galaxy.
the
Discovering the
galaxy.
Galaxy.
Wrong
See,
user. Good job, Luke.
I
You're
have-
lucky
I
Alanis is
have-
not here.
Canceled.
Yep. Don't tell your mother.
I'm gonna tell her.
Don't tell her. But that's pretty much where you can find her. Remy.
You can find me at FeralRemy across the board, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter.
Camila.
You can find me on TikTok at Boricuawookie, one half of Open Circle Fleet on TikTok as well. And then check out my Star Wars narrative podcast, Beings of the Galaxy Season 2.
That's
is
Beings of
in
the
the middle
Galaxy.
of yes, that's Beings of the Galaxy. Season 2 is coming
Luke.
soon.
Not her high school class.
Yeah. No. Sorry, Camilla. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, I'm done. Listen to Beings of the Galaxy.
Do it, or you're not a good Star Wars fan. Anyway, Hereth, we're gonna.
Speaking of things you can listen to, on tomorrow night we're going to be doing a Stream Lounge rewatch of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Please come and watch if you have a free minute. We need the views.
Just 1 minute.
Yeah. Yeah. And where can the people follow you though?
Well, if you want to follow me anywhere, you can follow me Hereth Productions on TikTok, Hereth_edits on Twitter, and don't follow on Instagram Hereth Productions because I don't post anything.
And sure. Where can the good people follow you?
Good people, you can find me on TikTok,
Every time.
Instagram, and Twitter at CharCharJ, and you can find us, me and these two buffoons, here next Thursday as we cover our Clone Wars rewatch. Next week we'll be covering the Mace and Jar Jar arc.
Man.
The most egregious acknowledgement
don't be dissing
of
Queen
sex in
Julia
the
like
Star
that.
Wars. The most egregious and like flat out acknowledgement of sex in the Star Wars universe, and it's given to Jar. Every day I wake up and I
Not
think
like
of
Lost
Jar.
Stars or anything, you know.
Did you say Jar or Char? Because
Jar.
Jesus. Anyway,
Din
you can
Djarin?
All right,
wish.
our brain. I don't think any of our brains are working anymore. Except for Camilla, she has the power and is worthy of Mighty Thor. Anyway, you guys can follow us at the Pod Once Podcast on TikTok, Pod Once Podcast on Twitter, and Pod Once Pod on Instagram. If you are just now watching this, like, comment, subscribe. We would love to.
Nature was using the Force on
have
me.
you on me.
No, Nedra. No, behind the back.
Yeah, Ray.
Stop choking me.
Oh, all right. Well, sorry, audio listeners. Camilla tried to give Mjolnir to Nedra, as in Ben.
As if the audio
Ray.
listeners have not given up by now.
Yeah, I know. That's gonna be it. On to the next one. For life.
We are all the Republic.
May the Force be with you.
Always.
Always.